Blueface is a man who is fighting with his past. Whether you see him as a rebel erupting or as a lost child striking out, his narrative has become a symbol of unresolved family suffering. Then he said it wasn't just love, it has to do with liberty. Still, it's messy in public when Blueface made the remarks during a live confession. He shocked a family and the internet. I have a thing for her. There would be an emotional explosion that none of his friends, critics, or even his inner circle could have predicted. It wasn't just a confession. An act of war was declared, a digital bomb tossed into a powder keg full of resentment, jealousy, silent grievances, and deeply rooted family wounds that had been slowly healing for years. Furthermore, Karlissa, the intended mother of Blueface, not a random internet troll or stranger, the remark was informal, bordering on disdainful. Blueface was leaning back in his chair, his eyes glassy in that half-serious, half-mocking way he often used when combining humor and hate. "I'm in love with her," he said, referring to Chrisean Rock, the unstable girlfriend who had sparked her own controversy, pregnancy rumors, and viral publicity. It was followed by the line that moved the ground under the internet's feet. "Karlissa is just crazy. She's all over Christian. Not even with me, with her." It froze the live chat. The silence was strangely computerized. No emojis of laughter. "Do not lock your caps." Then the downward spiral began, as it was implied that the conflict between Blueface and his mother was not merely maternal or generational, but rather concerned something darker, murkier, and more intimate than disappointment or protection. YouTubers responded with impromptu live streams, and Reddit threads are filled with theories, some rational, some irrational, all centered around the same question. Was Karlissa truly fixated with Chrissy, and what was the meaning of that? For too long fans, the feud wasn't new. Karlissa had been openly critical of Chrisean since the beginning, as evidenced by her early Instagram postings and the outrageous films she created of her fighting in kitchens and interfering with interviews. But Blueface's proposal during that live broadcast wasn't just a motherly worry, he was referring to it as envy. He said in that now viral video that she detested her, and it wasn't even due to Christian's actions. "She has it because of it, myself." In a society that already finds it difficult to establish appropriate mother-son boundaries, Blueface's charge straddled a tight line between emotional, while psychologists offer their opinions and fans split into factions. Journalists hurried to fact-check years' worth of film. As a mother witnessing her kid descend into anarchy, others defended Karlissa, claiming that her fixation was really fear masquerading as control. People who supported Blueface said that his mother had long meddled in his relationships and caused strife whenever her power diminished. However, women who had previously witnessed this kind of dynamic, women who had loved men whose mothers disliked them, women who were labeled manipulative or gold diggers, the moment a son started to fall in love with someone other than his mother, and women who understood the silent war being waged by us for Karlissa. She didn't hold her tongue for very long, standing in her homeroom, clearly distressed. She answered in a sad Instagram video just hours after the webcast went viral. "I was the mother of that boy. I reared him. When others refused to protect him, I did. And he speaks about me in this way. Someone who has only served to bring him down for her." The sorrow in her voice indicated that the topic was not only Karlissa and Christian, but also ownership. The conflict between a mother's recollection of her son and a woman's pressure to change him, and what happens when maternal love becomes territorial. This was not merely a public relations charade. It was a real-time family breakdown. However, Karlissa's own past was soon under scrutiny since the internet is cruel to nuance. Leaked information revealed disproportionate connections with Blueface, as other ex-boyfriends, and old interviews in which she ridiculed Christian's attractiveness came to light. The plot of the story changed from one of a distressed mother to one of a possible manipulator. Meanwhile, Christian was mute, absolutely and totally silent. She didn't go live, tweet, or publish a passive-aggressive post that, in many ways, spoke more than words could since, despite Teresa's retaliation and Blueface's claims, Christian, the woman at the center there, was one fact hidden behind the chaos. Blueface was not feeling well. He had a turbulent relationship with his mother for years, but this was more than a falling out. It was a rupture, a profound, potentially irreversible rift in the fabric of his identity and the person who brought him up. One question then came up. What does a guy really want to show? Is it love, freedom, or a desperate attempt to rewrite his own story when he declares he is in love yet burns his own blood to prove it? And without any on-screen apologies, the connection broke off forever, whether it was made of love, anguish, or some complex combination of the two. It looked like Karlissa had just been hit by a truck. She went cold, her voice broke, her face tensed, and her eyes glowed with rage as she struggled to comprehend what was happening. In addition to the betrayal, He thought he was claiming his girlfriend at that exact moment, which was broadcast live across the world. And Blueface didn't even bat an eye. With a kind of uncanny calm, he spun his thesis like a spoken word act. That was brutal, poetic, and purposeful. He depicted Karlissa as emotionally entwined with Chrisean, as if she were experiencing the drama vicariously. Shortly after, Karlissa got up and started revealing bits and pieces of her own past with unrestrained emotion. And shaking hands, traumas long hidden, secrets deep within. The live feed was no longer the only thing. The public therapy session had turned into a battlefield. The web collapsed, tweets were sent out. Focused his headline on her recuperation. She is done remaining silent. There isn't any drama present. A family's life is ruined. Floods were able to reach it. A lot of people started asking questions they had been scared to ask. This shocking revelation was the missing piece of a lethal jigsaw puzzle. Was it possible that Karlissa would finally show what she had experienced? The question of how prevalent this disorder is the most alarming. The emotional impact of this event requires going back years before live streaming and viral tweets. The stress was not related to Blueface's love life. Karissa's strong control over her son's path was the first step. Since he was young, Karlissa had been more than just a mother. She possesses strategic abilities. From rap to football, Blueface's fingerprints were evident in every move she made. She regarded herself not just as his protector, but as a mastermind behind his accomplishment. Blueface once said in an Instagram live, "My mom raised me to be tough. That's why I don't flinch." An admission that was never meant to be understood until now feels more like what at the time appeared like bravery. I never learned how to feel. In 2019, the public started to unravel. Blueface threw his mother out of his house in a now famous webcast. Karlissa had come out of nowhere. A Chrisean was present. The fear started to grow. Next came the pivotal moment that would decide their consequences. It's too much for her. Then she went across the internet. Karlissa left, fighting back tears. This was not just a family quarrel. During the eviction, millions of people watched. That was where a never-ending battle began. In opposition to Karlissa was clear from the start that she didn't only despise CI. To her, she was dangerous. During her live stream tirades, she made lurid accusations of black magic, manipulation, and abuse. Her statement, "My son doesn't blink right when she's around. She has a hold on him," was the first thing that caused many to laugh. The laughter finally died down when Chrisean and Blueface's turbulent relationship garnered media attention for its instability and domestic violence. Criticism of Karlissa began to shift. She might not have harbored animosity. It is possible that she failed to stop her son's decline. One of the cryptic stories she shared was, "If I taught him to sense danger, maybe he wouldn't be sleeping next to it." But her words of sympathy soon turned to silence. Behind Karissa's obsession with Chrisean, there seemed to be more personal animosity than sincere care. She began posting Chrisean's mugshots, naming her in numerous posts, and even sharing videos of her crying grandson with captions like, "This is what you'll want it." People began to wonder, is this a protective mother or a controlling force unraveling? Blueface.com single quotes as live webcast this week featured voice chilly words. "My mother is not irritated by Chrisean. It is she who fascinates her." Without mentioning Chrisean's name, "My mother will not even answer your phone." Leaning into the camera, he dropped the line that would shatter her finely built armor. "Do you want to know the truth? Chrisean is hated by my mother because he has the power she used to have over me." In the moment, Karissa's worst fear materialized. Losing control was promoted as a joke to the masses, nor did Shady it. She didn't even object. What she disclosed when she went live stunned the entire world. Stories of pain in childhood, abuse across generations, and loss. She recorded her agony and May quietly admitted things she never wanted to say out loud. The rivalry had vanished from this place. A program on a generational breakdown resonated with millions of people. Now its turn. The words of Blueface echoed in everyone's ears. "You don't treat her maliciously. She's what you want to be." This altered the world's perception. She is not just a mother who disapproves of her son's girlfriend. She is also a lady who is struggling with her own issues and the parts of her life that she no longer manipulates. Days passed, and the quiet of Karlissa, the mother of all live streams, echoes. Online speculation began after Karlissa seemed to disappear from the public view. Her absence resounded loudly. It's possible that folks thought she was regaining her composure and pondering. They were incorrect. She was not giving up. She surveyed the situation. She also carried emotional ammunition that, when she got back, would blow the conversation apart. Again, it was a fuse lighting line. Blueface in a Chrisean song during what seemed to be just another typical live webcast set the tone. Numerous instances of flirtation and sloppy love were on exhibit. But the tone was abruptly altered by a comment made by someone. "Your mother says you were cursed by Chrisean," stopping. Blueface Reddit smiled and said, "Explosions. Mom's not upset. She is totally absorbed. I'm completely absorbed and she wants to be her. That's crazy." The discussion soon went insane. Karlissa was well liked worldwide, raw, pure, and ready for war. Karlissa might respond in a flash. She started broadcasting live. Furious, roiling, nude, devoid of any glitz, filters, or diversions, her first words were, a sharp slap. "Y'all think I'm jealous of a girl who had to fight on TV for diapers?" She laughed. But it wasn't a happy laugh. A lifetime of betrayal was hidden behind the laugh. At that point, her voice began to shake. There was also something she said that no one had expected. "Are you interested in knowing why something hurts? Because I can identify with her. The part of me that I buried so that I could survive." It was a pivotal moment, and disagreement that started online turned into a horrified confession. Karlissa took off the clothing. Abuse in their early 20s, spending the night on flooring. Baby formula was taken to enable Blueface to survive. In response, she sobbed, "I sacrificed everything to be his mother. I'm now referred to be obsessed by him." The first thing to note is segment offered sympathy. Then something happened that caused the internet to split. "The reason I hate her is that she reminds me of who I was before everything happened to me." Others called her reckless, others brave, but everyone agreed at the end of her life. Karlissa was not only venting but also live analyzing the voicemail that shook the timeline. A new twist sucker was posted online. An allegedly Blueface voicemail was made public. The voice is quite chillingly casual. "She departed. Create a story about Soba out of this." You can see how she brings up the 9 South as though they were significant. It was followed by a gut punch. "This attention is more enjoyable to her than she is to me. Actually, it's a trauma." The audience was enthralled. Were we seeing the end of a failing family or the beginning of something darker? An ingenious cliffhanger, a new beginning, and a new flame. When Karlissa came back, her eyes were dry. Her voice was calm, music was playing, and her demeanor was controlled rather than teary. "You want to allow voicemails?" Then, upon saying that, she grinned. "Now, allow me to summarize the events of the night before his arrest." Online, there was a gasp, a wonder. What happened that evening? As quickly as she had teased it, however, she pulled back. "Not yet. No. You haven't been ready. The Mick Falls. Come on over and live there." A state of chaos struck, the disturbance and its consequences. One gossip blog after another blew up like pyrotechnics. The shade room from No Jumper, they became viral headlines, mental collapse. Let everyone know they are coming in. There were many of theories. Chrisean even made an Instagram story contribution. "Let the mother speak. It's the real folks building empires." Analysis. Karlissa is screaming as I stack. After Reddit got involved, the situation changed. Darker change. The real reason Karlissa can't stand. Their thread went viral. Chrisean discovered deleted prior tweets from Karlissa. These include her ranting about Blueface's early trauma, hospitalizations, struggles in school, and most unsettling of all, her claim that she destroyed letters from Blueface's father, who is no longer together, until the sister with the receipts arrived. It seemed that their situation could not get any worse than Blueface's sister, Karlissa, spoke up when she went live. Her only statement was frightful. "I had evidence of both of their lies." Internet users all went cold. Karlissa threw one bomb after the other. Karlissa, she claimed, used to tear up letters and hide them from Blueface's father, whispering, "You don't need him." The fans were devastated. "Buy it here. There was no overprotection. You got me. It was in charge." The dagger was Karlissa's final one. She hates Chrisean because, as you all suppose, she is toxic. The reason she hates her is because she replaced her. It was a phrase that split the fan base. Suddenly it was more than mother versus girlfriend. Two women were fighting for control because they were unwilling to compromise and believed they knew what was best for Blueface. Twitter threads, TikToks, and celebrity slams appeared in a matter of minutes. One person retweeted a Twitter thread with a headline which included Karlissa, the real villain. These included deleted screenshots of her 2016 Facebook outburst. In the infamous house, she can be heard yelling at Chrisean, even before celebs jumped in the summer and walked her through subtle shade. She caused embarrassment by calling her granddaughter's name ghetto on a TikTok video that went viral. Reality actress Mika Kishia tweeted, "I don't care how messy Chrisean is, this ain't it." However, amid all the chaos, a more agonizing question surfaced. Is Karlissa trying to defend her son or recover him? Because maybe this was never about Chrisean. Perhaps this was about a mother noticing that the last person she had built her entire world around was no longer her center of gravity, and watching him lose concentration. As we believe that this family's breakdown had reached its Zenith, the most deadly mother-son drama on the internet continued to worsen. A flurry of leaked footage in Karissa's most recent live feed recordings, the clubhouse bombs, and the celebrity reactions escalated this argument to previously unheard of levels. She serves as a mother, the manager, and the ex. Among the bombs of Whack 100, Blueface had a managerial position. Whack 100 didn't hold back when he showed up on Clubhouse. Karlissa has been trying to oversee Blueface's career at the sidelines. Her goal is for him to have a girlfriend, a manager, and pals. Besides being the manager and therapist, she is also Al-Anon's mother and the ex-girlfriend, Mike gained a lot of followers on Twitter. In response, Karlissa reacts with anger and fire. Not only did Karlissa respond, she blew up, shaky voice, burning eyes, storming Instagram Live. She clapped back angrily. Letters are a topic of fascination to the young girl. The nights I cried while your father was gone having an affair will be discussed. Since I don't have any money, let's talk about your brother sleeping in a car. Don't act like you don't have any discomfort after that. She snapped. Still, I received the voicemail. That is not the one you want to be leaked. Play on. The world went quiet. Voicemail number 2. The threat can be heard all the way through the timeline. According to a direct message made to a gossip website, Karissa's team source stated that if she leaves a voicemail like that, Blueface has completed not only a ruined job, legal troubles, or averted custody issues. It's not just the drama in the confessions. Does Blueface possess the capacity to influence others? Karlissa is either the puppet master or a wounded mother. Kali may be fueling a generational fire, but are we seeing the truth? The internet is in conflict. Fan pages divide now possesses to armies. You should support Karlissa since she is not toxic. She suffered trauma. Permit her to speak. With her, she got this boy through hell. Team Blueface is resentful. She went crazy. The thing she needs is therapy, not Instagram Live. Her body language is being scrutinized, along with other Facebook outbursts and even incidents where she denigrated her own granddaughter's name by calling it ghetto. Questions on Reddit and TikTok forums. It's a full-scale civil war. That whisper changed everything. In her most recent live stream, Karlissa murmured a name as she looked straight into the camera. I can't wait to hear his remarks. He saw it all. He lived it, which is why he can remember it. It caused the internet to divide. Woe is the man. Soon, fans were joining the dots. The parent Blueface is alienated from likewise. As far as Kali is concerned, Karlissa avoided Blue's life. This man may hold the final truth of the most lethal secret. Social networking is exploding. In what location is Dad Blueface? Hashtag Free Blueface is protected by Chrissy, the hashtag Toxic Mom website with Karissa's team. Twitter, TikTok threads, and Reddit are all trending these at the same moment. An article titled Karlissa, the Mother, the Myth, the Manipulator went viral on Reddit overnight. Highlights include a 2019 Instagram story where she called Blueface a famed slave in a Facebook Live where she said, I was his first queen. No girl will ever take that from me. In addition, she allegedly called Chrisean a Jezebel in leaked, unconfirmed texts. One Redditor came up with the greatest summary. This is not the way to be a parent. For unresolved trauma, cosplay provides a sense of protection. In their conflict with Blac Chyna, celebrities are picking sides. Child-mother disputes are not new. Sometimes the ones who birth you break you the worst. The game wrote in the comments section of Karissa's clip. Tokyo Tony, Blac Chyna's mother, responded harshly, saying, You guys don't know what it's like to raise a boy into a man alone. I stand with Karlissa. Period. Young Miami took it a step further. With Karlissa and her son and his girlfriend at odds, it's time to show her Zeus.end. You know what? That's possible. In a post with Tommy, T claims that Zeus has already reached out to Karlissa, who is reportedly negotiating a docuseries of her own. Mama Drama is a working title of the feud. This fight might progress from Instagram Live to reality television. Concluding remarks, this is not merely a mess, it is a collision of identity, ego, trauma, and survival. Now, no one knows who to back in real time, whether Blueface is ensnared or the one laying traps. Karlissa can be broken or breaking people, a planned podcast analysis, a deep dive timeliner, a law Reddit, and a TV treatment idea for this Zeus series. Rumor do you want? The genuine scoop, you got me. Deception, digital meltdowns, and DNA. The story twist that went viral on the internet and maybe broke Blueface's begins with Karissa's downfall. Also, we haven't heard from the father. He might be the next explosive device. Await further developments. This is only the beginning of the story. Despite not being pre-planned, Season 3 of this family drama is definitely available for live streaming. Identity. Zeus contract revealed. Rumors ran wild. when Karlissa was allegedly offered a multi-episode deal by Zeus Network for a docu-reality series dubbed Mother of the Mayhem. Here's a raw portion of Karissa's tweet that got things started. They want me on TV. If Karlissa pulls out a birth certificate and says, "Look who the father actually is," it's frightening. What I've experienced is PG in comparison to these lies, instant meme material, instant chaos. Fan reactions go feral, the internet as expected, it's lost. It's time for me to log off. We're not in Kansas anymore. There isn't a writer's room. In Nola's 8th season, industry brands are alarmed by Hinden's tea. Deals with Blueface were supposedly halted by its scorching brands because of the poisonous optics. Fears of Karissa's emotional instability were sparked by her reported podcast deal silence. Christian's team advises, let them exhaust one another. Less followers and more therapy sessions are needed for this family. Instead of being on Instagram Live, this belongs in a psychology textbook. She held out a manila envelope and stated, they want to talk about lies, about about who the father is, emitting a sound that could be heard anywhere in the world. How about I show you this? The chat exploded. Was it a DNA test? Custody, doc. They ended Blueface's public image. But Karlissa smiled and said, not yet. Let you sweat a bit longer, I'll let you. Then the internet got really wild after Andre Aljax suddenly showed up. A man on TikTok declared, I am Blueface's real name. Mom, the TikTok is 7 minutes. Los Angeles boxer Andre Aljax, a former semi-pro, brought receipts. Although she used to refer to me as a mistake, I ended up becoming a platinum-selling rapper. According to him, Karlissa forced him to sign away his rights, barred him, and then told Blueface that he had left them. Said, that's my son. Andre gave the lie. 2001 birth certificate, Los Angeles County medical records, an old photograph shows him cuddling a newborn that had a striking resemblance to Blueface. Karlissa abruptly stopped the show. Karlissa lost the support of her fans. #erupt. So she fought Chrisean for corrupting her son when the real corruption was hiding who he even was. It says in a widely shared tweet claiming that Karlissa lied and that DNA was found. Did Blueface grow up lying? Fans ask, did Chrisean realize this right away? Was Karlissa controlling him or protecting him? TikTok theorists are already in shock at Chrisean's now viral Instagram story and mysterious gaffe. The truth comes out, continue to act out parts. To whom is she referring? Suppose Blueface had informed her months prior. What if Chrisean learned the truth and Karlissa loathed her? Now, it's a trauma instead of a love triangle. TL. Doctor, real-time dynasty collapse. Karlissa's transformation from mogre to media chaos. The new purported father shows up in the chat. With evidence, the identity, background, and legacy of Blueface are now under question. Brands, fans, and even celebrities are retreating. Chrisean power, the last blow. Fans had hardly had time to catch their breath when a screenshot appeared. A direct message from Blueface to a close buddy they dated last week was allegedly displayed. The text, user with redaction, not much more than her Blueface radio singing, stillness. We don't know of anything else that isn't Mother of the Mayhem Season 1. I can provide you a timeline of events, a TikTok-style script, a voiceover for a fake TMZ breaking news story, or even a script that uses Red Table Talk to parody the whole mess if you want more. Since we are just halfway through this novel, do let me know what you require.